quick and give you some really good insights. What do you want to share today? What's going on in the staffing and direct hire world that you think would be helpful to these folks?
Yeah, sure. I've got a couple things just outlined on my screen, Alex. You don't need to share it, but
Oh.
to prepare to talk to you guys about. And I'd love to field a couple questions at the end if anybody wants to chat anything to Alex. Um, Anything that you're interested in regarding the search and staffing industry, talent acquisitions trends, technology labor market, whether it's a question now or after the webinar, feel free to reach out to me and I'll do my best to answer your questions.
Hi, it's Alex Jarrett with Technology Executives Club, and you're watching CIOs Unleashed. Be sure and visit us at technologyexecutivesclub.com and join our free Insiders Club. You'll get VIP invites and a call for speakers to all of our virtual events, seminars on demand, and your first masterclass workshop is free once you join. That's technologyexecutivesclub.com.
So what is going on, right? What's going on in the search industry right now?
Yeah.
We're seeing the labor market starting to constrict. Supply remains low, and despite inflation and looming concerns of scope recession, if anyone's paying attention to news
Yeah.
that was released this
Who's
morning,
not?
the demand remains very high, and that high demand is in all things digital transformation, modernization, and transformation of products and services, both external and internal. Of structure from technology perspective, cloud modernization, all things cloud. So
Yeah.
the majority of my discussions with clients lately has been around architecture, cloud architecture, engineering, cloud security, you name it, cloud modernization. Application development and software engineering is still by far the most in-demand skill out there to have. If you've got kids going through school, there's something to point them in the direction for. That demand is not going to slow down as far as the sheer number of openings out there. I know a lot of our clients have major initiatives where they're, again, modernizing their tech stack, or business critical, or even launching new products and services that they need their they need they need folks to come in and build.
Yeah.
So high in demand. And since we're talking about security is very close behind application and software engineering. It's in the top 3 in demand, right next to cloud. So application, cloud, security, top 3 is what we're seeing. I've talked a couple times on these webinars, Alex, about the Great Resignation, right? Last year, we were talking more about the Great Resignation, and there have been many, pop-up terms, I call them, as far as the current market. And one that I've heard and personally am a fan of is we're calling it or scoping it as the Great Return, right? So companies are starting to, they've got enough data now, right, where they're looking at productivity of the associates of their workforce. And you've seen probably some more outspoken leaders of the bigger tech companies already start to talk about this, right? If you follow someone like Elon Musk, he said, come back into the office. If you want to go not work somewhere else. And maybe that was, to some, it rubbed them a certain way, but to others, that gave them what they needed to perform at a higher level. And that's what he's looking for. And I think all of us leaders can agree that's what we want, right? We want a high performing workforce. So we're seeing the Great Return. Companies are starting to execute their return to office strategies, formalizing expectations around that, and doing this tightrope balance of how do we, keep this, from, again, talent acquisition standpoint, keep our ability of acquiring talent that has high expectations. And that criteria that candidates have has changed a lot. And I'll actually ask this in the chat if anybody's interested in, and I can't see the chat, but I believe you can, Alex. So as professional recruiters, one of the questions that we ask, and this is usually in the first 3 to 5 minutes when we're interviewing or screening a candidate, we say, what is the criteria, candidate, that you will use to measure your next opportunity, regardless of the skill set of the candidate, executive leader, software engineer, security professional. So we ask for their list, right? What's number 1 on your list? What's number 2 on your list? What's number 3? And if anyone wants to answer in the chat, what do you guys think? What do you think is popping up as number 1 or number 2 that the criteria people are seeking right now?
Okay. Anybody want to answer that? Go ahead. In the meantime, I'll take a guess based upon our peer advisory group. This is from the what I've been hearing historically is hybrid or virtual, remote and learning opportunities is what I'm hearing. Somebody just jumped in. That's what we're hearing. That's what
Good one.
John is hearing. And we're hearing the peer advisory meetings. We talk about this topic a lot in the peer advisory meetings, and we're hearing virtual. People still want virtual. The last time we had this conversation was a month ago. So that's
Yeah,
still pretty
and that's
current.
creating a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
So if I were to ask that question 3 years ago, or if somebody were to ask me, I would say learning and development, like John answered. I would say
Yeah.
career growth and trajectory, opportunity to learn and grow to higher levels within the
Yeah.
organization. I would say working with the tech stack, like that almost always comes up. If you're recruiting software engineers, tech stack. Hey, what am I going to be working with? What am I going to be doing? What am
Yeah.
I going to be
I
building?
want to work
That
on the
comes up
coolest
early and
stuff.
often.
Yeah, the hottest
Yeah,
stuff.
the coolest stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stability, all these things were on the top. And then you usually get the compensation around 4 or 5. Right now, it's exactly what you and the other point that John made. It's, flexibility in terms of work, so either remote or hybrid, and compensation are by far the top considerations. And I'm talking by like 15 plus percentage points here, guys, before we even move to career growth. I'm hoping that changes. I mean, I had a call earlier today with someone, Alex, that they want a 35% increase to make a change, and it's a great opportunity, and they may miss out on it, right? The client wants to make them an offer. Our client does, and they're telling us it's a great opportunity, but they're looking at the market, and their expectations are a little ambitious, we'll say. She used the word aggressive. I'll use the word ambitious, and I get it. So we're still seeing the high demand, but procuring this talent, and I'm sure most on this call are experiencing this.
Yeah.
It's challenging right now, right?
They
all
are.
are, right? So, these candidates that were aggressively seeking a change, through the Great Resignation, they've made that change, or 2, or some 3. So they've experienced this hyper compensation growth, and now that talent that was eager to make the change, they've already done it. So it makes it challenging for us on this call to procure them. So now we're fishing in a different pond. Right now we're going after the very passive candidates that have a little remorse.
Oh,
that didn't make the change, and now they're looking at it and looking for a big pay increase or other opportunities.
Yeah, because they see their buddies or other people making all that money.
Correct.
But here's what I see, and we've talked about this as well, and then we got to wrap it up. By the way, Mike just said hybrid work relationship. He thought that was number 1 too. Sounds like you're saying. That's what we're hearing in the virtual peer advisory is people are evolving to hybrid because a lot of people can't go with, the full remote. And it goes against all these cultural values that their companies have had for so many years. So when you say go digital, a lot of that is part of it. Hi, it's Alex Jarrett again, and thanks for watching another episode of CIOs Unleashed. Don't forget, visit us at technologyexecutivesclub.com and join our free Insiders Club. And if you like today's episode, be sure and like it, comment, and share it with a friend. Thank you, and have a great day.